This week on the season finale of The Real Housewives of New York City.
Unless you're not telling me this, I should stick with this information. Are you insane? You guys,
I wish I knew what I did for her to do something like this.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the season finale of Real Housewives of New York, season 15, episode 15. We gotta get into this episode because this was a lot. Okay, you guys, never in my life did I think that I was going to say that the Real Housewives of New York reboot finale was going to give me chills. But it did. It literally, I got chills several times because this got dark. It got very dark and it was just crazy. So let's begin this finale. It looks like some of the shows are taking the Salt Lake City route on having the finales on the cast trip. So the episode starts where we left off last week. It's night time and Erin thinks she's some sort of badass, yelling at Ubah to stop calling Brynn names and stop going after Brynn. Sai then says that she wants to talk to Jessel to clarify some things. What was said about Jessel. So just for some context, the day before, Erin, Brynn, and Sai, the three of them were all sitting outside talking crap about Jessel. Earlier today, when Jessel asked Erin what was said, Erin pretty much says, oh, well, I didn't say anything, it was all Brynn and Sai. Jessel then tells this to Sai, and then Sai tells this to Erin, so now they want to clarify it. So Jessel comes over, Erin is now mad at Jessel, saying that Jessel's lying about what she said. She's even making vomit gestures. I thought it was so disgusting and immature, but what can I expect from a woman who shows her friends a picture of her husband's penis? Like, I'm done with Erin all the way anyway. But anyway, Sai and Jessel then get the opportunity to talk. Sai starts talking about Pavit not even saying hi to her at parties, and I thought for a second, wait, I thought you said that you were ignoring Pavit whenever you saw him. How are you ignoring someone but mad at the same time that they're not saying hi to you? Huh? But the bottom line is that she's still upset at Pavit's comments from last year, calling her a bitch and calling her bipolar. So Jessel, being the bigger person, apologizes and they all hug it out. Now, don't get me wrong, Sai's feelings are valid. She even got a little teary-eyed, so I do believe that she is hurting. But if you don't want to be called a B and bipolar, then don't act like it. Don't bully a man's wife for an entire season, and don't insinuate that he's a sex tourist. So I don't think you owe an apology. I think you owe him an apology. How about that? How about that? But I will say, I definitely have appreciated Sai's evolvement from last season to this one. I do see her changing a lot, and I do hope that her issue with Jessel can be squashed, but that's going to include you needing to stop talking crap about her. Okay, so they all meet up at Jenna's room and they all talk crap about Ubah. Oh, Ubah's so rude. What she's saying to Brynn is not okay. She bites our heads out whenever we want to say something. Oh my gosh. So Ubah eventually gets there and Sai says to her, you can't keep calling her a whore, babe. And Ubah says, no, I never called her a whore. I literally said, take a nap. She's the one who herself brought up the D word. Brynn then gets in there and she jumps in and says that what she said was sarcasm because Ubah was the one who had said that she slept with someone to get this job. And again, Ubah says, nope, I did not say that you did sleep with someone to get this job. I said maybe you did because I didn't. I love the fact that Ubah is not willing to let them put words in her mouth. She's going to remind them exactly what she said. Brynn then gets angry. She starts screaming at Ubah, asking, when do you know I slept with someone for a job? When did you see me do it? When did I do it? And at this point, Ubah walks off. She's kind of done with it. So I guess that emboldens Brynn to just get even more vicious and more rude and start screaming more things at her. She continues to say, "You're not Giselle, you're not Naomi, you live in delusional. You live in delusion, you're a 6-foot toddler." And all of them are trying to calm down the situation. Brynn then accuses all of the women that they think that she slept with men for money, and the ladies say, "No, we don't believe that." Brynn says, "Oh, but this is an attack on my character." And I guess Raquel wanted to comfort her because she saw Brynn crying, and Brynn's talking about racism, and she's never slept with no one. And I just thought to myself, okay, if you don't want people to be insinuating things like this, because she even said that this is she's been mad at Jeff Lewis and people who have said things like these. Well, I say don't act like it then. So they all get up and hug her and say, "It's okay. We don't believe that you have done that." I thought it would have been nice for them to also check up on Ubah too. Ubah has to literally go back into the room to grab Erin to talk to her, which is disheartening because they should have been there for her too. So Erin goes with Ubah. Sai goes as well. So Erin says to Ubah again, "You can't say things like that. That you don't know if she slept with someone for this job." Ubah says, "But you know why, amore? Yesterday at dinner, I was just sitting there, minding my business, and she's the one that started with me. She started coming at me for no reason." But that's not good enough for Sai and Erin. They're still reprimanding Ubah. I thought it was funny though that in the middle of this very tense moment, Rebecca comes in with pizza saying that it's time for dinner. That was kind of funny. Brynn is still going off about this, saying that one day her kids will see this. She says that someone saying her sucking D is the worst thing ever because she's in a support group for sexual assault victims. This is where it starts to get dark. She then says that Ubah knows this because she told her before BravoCon. She then says that this is why Jeff Lewis comment hurt her so much. And I do feel bad for what happened. No one should go through that. It's not okay. But people don't know that. Jeff Lewis doesn't know that. Ubah doesn't know that. And if you, in every single scene you're in, are flirting with someone, talking about sex and how you're going to do this and how you're going to do that, you want to bang the bartender, the lifeguard, the chef, the husbands, then unfortunately for you, people are going to say things like that. But nevertheless, sharing that you were violated like that is horrible. And of course the women feel bad. They're shocked. They had no idea about this. But this also makes them feel disgusted by Ubah. And Raquel's like, "I can't even look at Ubah right now." And then Jenna is crying. So then they all go to have dinner. Ubah takes Brynn outside. And Ubah's being the bigger person. And she apologizes to Brynn. She says, "I apologize for what I said." Brynn says, "What did you say?" And Ubah says, "Well, whatever it was, I'm here to apologize." Brynn says that Ubah needs to apologize properly, and Ubah says, "But what do you want me to say? I didn't say you actually did anything." So then Brynn walks away. Now keep in mind, Ubah did apologize, but Brynn wants Ubah's apology to literally be, "I'm sorry, I said you sucked D for money." But Ubah's not going to do that because Ubah didn't say that. So they're all eating. They're all like, "Oh, poor Brynn." And then they decide to go to bed. And this is where things take a very dramatic turn. So production at this point is shutting down cameras. They're taking people's mics off. And Jessel does something that I think was very needed to be done. And if I had a friend in this situation, I would want them to do what Jessel did. Jessel goes into Ubah's room and says, "Ubah, Brynn shared with us that she was RAPED. If you knew that, why did you say that?" And all you can hear is a huge scream. So Sai goes to check up what's going on inside Ubah's room, and she says that when she walked in there, she sees Ubah curled up in a ball on the floor, crying, saying that she did not know that. So Ubah leaves her room, and she says, Brynn, you said on camera that you were AR'd? Now, most of this is, again, it's not shown because, again, production's cameras were down. We are being told what happened a lot via confessionals. So apparently Ubah said to Jenna and Raquel that God could strike her firstborn child dead, that she did not know about Brynn going through this, that Brynn didn't tell her. So Brynn is crying again. Of course, Erin finds a way to blame Jessel. Ubah then says to all of them that she is so grateful that Jessel said this to her, and she starts going off and she screams to all of them and she says to Raquel, did you really want me to go to sleep not knowing this information? And let me tell y'all, seeing Ubah cry in her confessional literally gave me chills. This was not okay. But this gets crazier. It is now around 12 a.m. Everybody is in Jenna's room except two people, Ubah and Jessel. In Jenna's room with everybody else, Sai asks Brynn, did Ubah know what happened to you? Brynn then says, come to think of it, maybe she didn't. Huh? Excuse me? Wow. So then Brynn left the room, everybody else stayed, but then Brynn comes back in the room and she says something that Erin says changed things forever. Wow. So it is then the next morning. Brynn is talking to production before they begin filming. A lot of the footage from last night also was from cameras that were part of the house, not production cameras, but cameras that were kind of covering the entire house. So Brynn though is acting like she's on a ring around the rosy, talking to production. Then Sai comes and Brynn's talking about going horseback riding and having a fun day, and she says, I can do a 180, like I'm literally psycho like that. Oh my gosh. So production decided to end the trip early. They actually start filming everyone. The cameras start rolling. Everyone's there except Jessel and Ubah. Brynn does end up leaving early. So then outside the villa, Sai, Raquel, Jenna, Erin, and Rebecca are gathering, and they're just like, wow, WTF, what just happened last night? And they're all talking about the compulsive liar and all the lies she tells and how she twists everything. And they're also asking, how do they move forward from this? This isn't some lighthearted, dumb, oh, you were in on the prank, or I didn't like what you wore. No, this is some serious stuff that you can't just easily get over. Sai predicts that Brynn will probably reach out to Erin and Jenna the most. And literally, as she said that, Brynn texts Erin. So then Ubah and Jessel arrive to the house. Now they all want to apologize and hug Ubah and Jessel. And I understand, I do. But it's definitely a little infuriating knowing that they believed Brynn last night. But I understand, given the circumstances. But the good thing is that now they know the truth. So Jenna says to Ubah, we believe you. But Ubah's in tears. Ubah says, like, I don't care what strangers think. But, like, the fact that y'all could have believed that I would have known that and still said something like that is heartbreaking. But they say, no, we understand now. Ubah says that Brynn is not okay. And Sai says, yeah, she's acting like, this morning she was acting like nothing happened. So that was it for the trip. It's done. We then see the ladies a few days later, and it's the day of the shoot for the show, where they record their intros, their taglines, and all of that, which we see at the beginnings of the episode, which I thought it was pretty cool seeing the behind the scenes. But the group just feels a lot of tension. They feel super awkward because of the Brynn and Ubah conflict. And then we start getting the finale flashcards. As for Sai, she says that she will never trust Brynn ever again. Some of the women have reached out to Brynn, but Brynn is pretty much acting like nothing ever happened. Brynn is the last one to arrive. She and Ubah were literally at the ends of the group. They completely ignored each other. Brynn still manages to make herself the victim and say that these girls don't care about her. And that was the end of the episode. We will be getting the reunion next week. All I gotta say is, wow, again, got chills watching it. Got chills even talking about it. What Brynn did is one of the worst things ever, because even if we give her the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, maybe she forgot, maybe she thought Ubah knew, the fact that she said this on camera, you guys, and then backtracked off camera, meaning if the other women wouldn't have said anything, they could have kept this narrative going. And Ubah could have been, wow, this is unbelievable. And again, I am so grateful for Jessel for having told Ubah, because think about it. Had Jessel never told Ubah would have never known. That would have been crazy. So I'm glad that Jessel didn't want Ubah to be blindsided. Never liked Brynn, even from the first season. Even when everyone was sort of liking her, I could read right through her. I guess I was right. I just thought something in the buttermilk ain't clean. Yeah, she has a lot of issues, a lot of trauma, and she's a broken person, but unfortunately that's not an excuse to be causing chaos and confusion and destruction to friendships and to friend groups. It's not okay. But you guys, let me know what your thoughts were on this explosive finale. Were you shocked? What were your opinions? Let me know. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one.